Hello, this is Volodymyr Kruch and our crash course for agronomists, simply about microbes. Last time, we talked about free-living soil microorganisms that exist in the root zone of plants and provide them with minerals, growth stimulants, and even protect them from pathogens. Today we will talk about their colleagues from the above-ground part, namely the inhabitants of the epiphytic and endophytic zones. Epiphytic microorganisms are those that live on the surface of leaves and shoots of plants. Endophytes are those that have made their way into the intercellular spaces and exist right inside the tissue of plants. The above-ground part of plants is not very rich in microbiota, but it is still not the worst place to exist. 1 square centimeter of a leaf may be colonized by up to several tens of millions of cells, at another place only by a few thousand. Even a leaf that looks dry at first glance contains some moisture, especially along the veins. It is this moisture that provides habitat for epiphytic microflora. This water provides bacteria not only with habitat, but also with nutrition, as the sugars synthesized in the leaves of plants seep to the surface by diffusion. Diffusion is a very important process for all living things. This is a mechanism by which some compounds can cross the membranes in a direction where their concentration is lower. For example, due to diffusion, human blood is saturated with oxygen in the lungs, plant roots absorb minerals and water from the soil, and sugars cross membranes and get to the surface of the leaf. But bacteria, feeding on these sugars, return the favor. They synthesize a large number of amino acids, growth factors, vitamins, and other biologically active substances that diffuse into plants. And the more plants lack certain compounds, the faster the absorption process. So, what exactly can microorganisms give to a plant? First of all, amino acids and phytohormones. Amino acids, as components of proteins and enzymes, are the key factors that provide for all the biochemical processes in living organisms. For example, alanine is essential for the synthesis of chlorophylls, pigments responsible for photosynthesis, or tyrosine, which is proteinogenic and affects the plant's response to salt or water stress. And phytohormones can control the growth and development of plants to a certain extent. For example, cytokinins and auxins. Cytokinins are responsible for the division of cells into types, dermal and vascular. Auxins regulate the physical growth of cells. As a result, cytokinins received by leaves significantly accelerate the development of the green part of the plant. And what about the sun rays, you might ask? After all, everyone knows that ultraviolet light adversely affects microorganisms, and high temperatures simply evaporate the moisture necessary for their existence. Well, millions of years of evolution have developed mechanisms of resistance to ultraviolet light and drying in microorganisms. In different microorganisms, such mechanisms may differ. For example, creation of backup copies of genome or synthesis of special protective proteins protects the genetic material of bacteria and fungi from the effects of ultraviolet light. And to protect from drying, microorganisms secrete various polysaccharides. They form a protective gel-like surface that prevents water evaporation and anchors bacteria and fungi to the leaf surface. Known producers of exopolysaccharides are such microorganisms as Azotobacter chroococcum, Phenobacillus polymyxa, and many others. Some microorganisms have learned to exist even inside the plant tissues. Some of them have developed special organs, such as nodule bacteria or mycorrhizal fungi, but they're worth talking about separately. Others penetrate into the intercellular spaces of plants and exist directly in the sap saturated with solutions of sugars, releasing there amino acids, phytohormones, and other biologically active substances. Well, we should not forget about the ability of some organisms to inhibit the development of others, antagonism. Epiphytic microflora is a very important element of plant resistance to external infections. First, Colonies of symbiotic bacteria on the surface of leaves and shoots just physically prevent pathogens from getting to the surface of plants. Second, these beneficial microorganisms form a large number of antibiotic compounds and other non-specific metabolites that inhibit the development of pathogens. More information about the activities of pathogens and ways to protect plants from them will be provided in the following videos. And today, we've introduced you to the interesting world of epiphytic microflora. Unusual living conditions require unusual solutions, and microorganisms find them, staying close to their multicellular neighbors both in good times, when there's plenty of moisture, and in hard times of stress. Stay with us, and we'll tell you a lot of interesting things. Please ask your questions in the comments and share this video. Till next time, goodbye.